This is BTV News coming to you live from the capital, Gaborone. BTV News at 9 o'clock. I am Khomotso Mapane. Let's take a look at the headlines. African countries encouraged to invest on women empowerment initiatives. Ms. Boitumelo Khofamodimu is the new specially elected member of parliament. And in sports, Botswana athletics in remembrance of the late Moses Raputsi. Good evening. The First Lady, Ms. Nomasisi, says if African countries are to end social ills bedeviling the region, including new HIV infections, gender-based violence, and poverty among women, they should invest in women empowerment initiatives like Zimbabwe's Agri for She. Ms. Masisi said this on Monday in Harare, Zimbabwe, during her tour of Agri for She community projects patroned by her Zimbabwean counterpart, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa. Gavelo Kakololo.
The First Lady, Ms. Nomasisi, as she arrived in Harare, Zimbabwe, where she is to appreciate and compare notes with the Zimbabwean First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, on various women empowerment initiatives. The two First Ladies are members of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, WAFLAD. Here in Zimbabwe, First Lady Mnangagwa has identified agriculture as one of those sectors with a huge potential of alleviating women from poverty. She is the patron of the Agri for She program, which is already making a positive impact in various communities across the country.
What you have come to validate and applaud today is an enormous accomplishment of the successful implementation of climate smart agriculture for She, spearheaded by Her Excellency Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa. Smart agriculture is one field where creativeness does not stop and opportunities are endless.
At Mashonaland East, in the Marondera district, farmers have adopted the Fumvuza concept to increase resilience against effects of climate change.
The concept of Fumvuza is to utilize the first effective rains, meaning that if our rains come in November, we can plant in our crops. Rain, when it rains, it doesn't wash away the soil. So this one is a soil and water conservation system.
The First Lady sees Agri for She as the answer to many African problems.
In most parts of Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, we have the same problems. HIV, just to mention a few, gender-based violence, the drugs, unemployment. Where do I see a solution? I see the solution right here, with Agri for She. Rather than having us, the First Ladies, running around the country, telling people more about HIV, GBV, drugs, and unemployment, this is where we should be planting our investment.
The United Nations also attaches value to the empowerment of women on climate-resilient farming for sustainable development. Kabalo Kakololo, BTV News, Harare, Zimbabwe.
The First Lady, Ms. Nomasisi, says she wishes to undertake more collaborative initiatives with Zimbabwe's First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, to continue empowering women and strengthening bilateral relations of the two nations. Ms. Masisi said this on Monday evening at a welcome dinner hosted by Dr. Mnangagwa in her honor. This is the first time in history that First Ladies of both countries have held such a meeting. Ms. Masisi says she's pleased to see how Dr. Mnangagwa's Agri for She initiative, which uses agriculture as a vehicle for women empowerment, promotes self-reliance and food security among Zimbabwean women. She further said she will optimize her working visit to take notes and experiences to share and empower women in Botswana.
I'm encouraged to hear that our two countries have further signed a memorandum of understanding on agricultural cooperation. and they're currently working in finalizing an MOU on women empowerment and gender affairs. How I wish, Madam Ambassador, that besides the two signatures, the holy signatures, that you include us in that signing and finalizing that MOU. I look forward for our continued engagement and sharing of experiences in areas of women empowerment and how we could further work together to implement and deliver valuable programs for the benefit of our communities. Because, as they say, if you want to go fast, you can go alone. But if you want to go far, you can go together. May we go together, my sister, and may we go far as we take our nations far.
Our duty as mothers is to exemplify grace, compassion, and dedication. This is not excluding the demand for tireless efforts in championing causes close to our hearts: healthcare, education, and women's empowerment, all which we are indelible to our society. It is the spirit of service and compassion that defines our role as mothers, as first ladies, mothers of our nations.
Still in Harare, Zimbabwe, the First Lady has emphasized the crucial need for individuals who depend on natural resources for sustenance to collaborate with research experts in order to exchange ideas that can further improve the quality of their products and businesses. The First Lady said this during a benchmarking event at the University of Zimbabwe on Monday. Kabelo Kakololo continues.
In a quest to promote initiatives aimed at empowering women, the First Lady recently added natural resource-based community businesses to her priority list. She recently identified the Mabolo women Moana products in the Bubirwa area as key players in the promotion of food security in the country. Though they have been able to put food on the table, their business has not shown any significant growth over the years due to a number of challenges, including but not limited to lack of business acumen, innovation, research and development. Apart from organizing training with Nadi for them, the First Lady has also taken some of the members on a benchmarking exercise to University of Zimbabwe, which launched an innovation research and development hub in 2019.
And the understanding that science, technology, and innovation will be our future aim for development. So, having gotten that call, this innovation hub was built entirely by University of Zimbabwe staff as part of the new education system.
The hub has so far conducted a lot of research and produced many baobab products since inception.
A baobab festival, where you are just trying the baobab and just tickling your palate all the way. And you could even have the culinary scientists, if I may call you that, not only from Botswana, but neighboring Zimbabwe. And you bring these scientists at different levels. They would represent basic community, what they got from their grandparents, and you would be the model and the innovator.
The Mabula ladies say they have benefited a great deal from the exercise.
And we did little things, we did body donne, body oil, body yogurt, but it's little juice. So na seke le kwana ngore mwana o ka nkisa go gongwe ke le Motswana ke lebeletse mo batho bana ba o dira ba university le bana ke tsamile go bona go farming.
Women empowerment remains a priority for sustainable livelihoods by the year 2030. Kakololo, BTV News, Harare, Zimbabwe.
In other news, members of parliament have elected Ms. Boitumelo Kgofamodimo as a specially elected member of parliament. In an interview with BTV News following her appointment this afternoon, Ms. Kgofamodimo promised to be an asset to the assembly and the nation as a whole through her experience and expertise as an economist. Monica Sutwaela.
Members of Parliament exercising their constitutional right by voting in a specially elected Member of Parliament following the resignation of Minister Philda Kereng, who has since been appointed as ambassador to Nigeria. Botswana has for long been struggling with a low number of women representatives at the National Assembly, and this issue is slowly but surely being addressed. As at the 21st of February, the National Assembly witnessed another woman taking up the parliamentary seat.
Those who voted yes were 34. 34. There was no. There are 2 spoiled votes. And one member said I was not voting. That's the abstention.
Ms. Hofa Modimo, who is an economist by profession and has also served in the public and intergovernmental organizations, has pledged to help address challenges facing the country.
I have acquired a lot of experience, generally about development. I think what is really important at this stage is how we take this country forward, looking at the goals and aspirations that are set out in our vision. Industrial development and trade development provide very good opportunities for jobs and other things. And as we know, unemployment being a challenge in this country, that is one of the major issues that I will push forward.
This election is viewed as a welcome development for other women in parliament.
Re itumetse go tlo gore thusa rena le dikgotlo tse dintsi tsa bomme re leka go ngoka bomme tota go joina politiki go thata ga ke itse gore ba tshaba kana keng me tota ga yo mongantsa re joina yana re leboga hela thata.
This move is a testament to the country's aspiration to empower women in the political space. Monica Sotswaila, BTV News, Gaborone.
The creative arts and the media sector are said to possess a significant potential to diversify the economy. This afternoon, the Minister for State President, Mr. Kabo Moroyeng, met with the creatives and media sector to share ideas and insights on how the two sectors can be commercialized to contribute to the economic growth of the country.
Government considers the creative arts as the important contributor to national development and the economic diversification. To stimulate growth of the sector, government announced an increase of 58% to the budget allocated to the sector. On the other hand, the Ministry of State President, through the Department of Broadcasting, launched a roadshow which is aimed at developing and uncovering talent in this country.
E ne le go buisanya go tsaya dikgang go bona gore mme re ka thusanya jang go bona gore mme re ka ungwelwa yang re le puso le bone le ba ikemetseng ba ka ungwelwa yang.
Meanwhile, the creative arts sector stands steadfast in fixing the commercial model part of the sector, as well as sharing issues that they think government can do for the benefit of everyone.
We first of all wanted to acknowledge government's decision to focus on the creative arts and media sector as a source of jobs and growth in the economy. We've seen positive developments like the National Arts Council, it becoming a sector that government always focuses on and the president focuses on in the budget speech and the State of the Nation and other things, and we're very happy about that. But we also wanted to talk to things that are inhibiting growth, the growth of jobs, the growth of creativity in the industry, the growth of arts.
Gona le ditsela le rona tse ileng gore re le puso re ka ungwelwa ka yone gore re ka dira eng le eng re ka ithuta mo go bone gore re ungwele se kae ha o bua ka television ya rona Botswana wa go itlhalela gore na le one of the best TV stations in Africa mme ga re dirise ka tsela e leng gore ditlamelo tse tsa rona tse re nang le tsone di ka rungwela financially le ka tsela tse dingwe tse di rileng.
The meeting is held to pave way for a similar meeting which will be addressed by President Masisi in the not-so-distant future.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock from Zambia, Engineer Himba Shielo, says that visit to Botswana strengthens the two nations' bilateral cooperation in agriculture development. She said this during the benchmarking meeting with the Ministry of Agriculture.
The President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, was on a working visit at Kasane in January at the invitation of his counterpart, His Excellency Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi. The two heads of state held bilateral talks on a couple of issues, and part of their discussions, agriculture featured very prominently. Following that visit, Engineer Chielo and his delegation are also here on a benchmark exercise on how to transform the agricultural sector of the two nations by sharing their experiences.
We have obviously come to Botswana appreciating the strengths that Botswana possesses, and these strengths are in the beef production subsector, amongst other strengths. We are coming here to learn and leverage on some of these strengths, recognizing that the livestock industry plays an important role in the trajectory of any economic development.
We have already developed a program called Temo le Tlotlo. Now we have moved to Tuo le Tlotlo because we want to up our game significantly in terms of agriculture. In the arable subsector also, we are pushing. We are not saying we don't have rains. We are saying we have to be innovative to be able to produce in terms of arable agriculture.
This visit was again said will accord them an opportunity to take home key lessons in many areas, including bull management strategies, among others.
We want to understand what has made your livestock breeding effective. Okay, so effective livestock breeding for enhanced production and productivity through appropriate breeding technologies, such as artificial insemination, which you alluded to. We are looking at understanding your bull management techniques.
During the period that Engineer Chielo and her delegation will be here, they will have an opportunity to tour and visit places like Botswana Meat Commission, Artificial Insemination Center in Ramatabama, among others, just to appreciate the progress Botswana has made in its efforts of developing the agricultural sector, particularly livestock. BTV News, Gaborone.
The chairperson of Tsabon District Council, Mr. Hendrik Jacobs, says the council has registered 16 child neglect cases in the district. The parents of these children are said to mostly be below the age of 30. Mr. Jacobs said this when addressing councillors at a full council meeting in Tsabon.
Mr. Jacobs said most child neglect cases can be traced back to parents who had their first child before they turned 18 due to defilement, and therefore are not ready nor are they equipped to take on parenthood. Therefore, they end up neglecting those children.
There are 16 reported cases of child neglect in the district. The cases are mainly the young parents of 30 years and below with more than one child. The negative impact of early introduction of sexual activities, alcohol and drug abuse in one's psychological development, and if care is not taken, the ripple effects of these social ills will continue to show up in the upcoming generations. We cannot shy away from emphasizing the need for each and every one of us to be bold and intentional in addressing social ills affecting children in this district.
Mr. Jacobs also alerted councillors on the increase of defilement cases in the district.
37 cases handled by the department. 84 cases are defilement. It is worth noting that these 84 cases refer to the reported cases only. There are many that slip through our fingers because parents of the victims are concealing them. Between the month of December 2023 and January 2024, the department managed to close 17 cases.
Mr. Jacobs has cemented Tabon District Council commitment to protecting the rights of children by reporting child neglect and defilement cases to the police so that those responsible face the full wrath of the law. Ke o lebogela Botswana, BTV News, Tabon.
It is time for sports with Ntabogang Sebetlela.
Hello, Thomas.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yes, a very interesting bulletin here. Women are getting into high positions. Yes.
Okay. But I can also imagine it being at the last 24 hours being one of the toughest 24 hours in athletics Botswana, with the Grand Prix, with some who qualified going to All Africa Games not being able to go, with the passing of a legend.
A very tough week for them.
Okay.
So they have a lot on their plate, honestly. Nothing good news. They haven't received any good news so far.
Okay.
I don't know what we can do to brighten their day.
I'm sure you'll figure out something, ma'am.
Not me. I don't have the powers.
No, but I'm sure you'll figure out something. You'll figure out a good story coming out of athletics.
Yes, I think we need a feel-good story for them.
Yeah.
Because is there interest? Or probably we can actually ask its sponsors, can you at least increase the numbers of the athletes going to Ghana?
Okay.
Help. Thank you very much, Komozo. Botswana Tonight Sports News follows with me, Ntabogang Sebetlela. Botswana Athletics Association yesterday held a memorial service in honor of former long-distance runner, coach and a former BAA board member, Moses Raputi. The memorial service, which attracted former athletes, was to celebrate the life of a former national athlete who has served the country's athletics from 1987 to the time of his passing. Soholame buying with more.
Ona nelwa anela gangwe hela go rwala maleu a batho ba le bantsi gore ba ba moemetseng ka tlhwagalo a tla bonnela bobedi go go bone a bonlela go ba boloka.
Paceman, as he was affectionately known in the athletics circles, served the BAA at length as a regional chairperson for the Central Region from 2001 to 2019. As a former national team long-distance athlete, he competed at the 1987 South Korea World Marathon and other major races within the region, continent and international, alongside the likes of Them Benganye, Bobby Hasitsiwe and others.
One na an supporta thata mo tirong ya me ka gore nako eo tiro ya me ne ile go tlhabolola athletics mo meding go tswa go meding ke ruta matishara go tswa go primary go tswa go secondary re dira so se ne go te development.
His colleagues at work described him as a firm, passionate leader and advocate for sports with virtues stretching beyond the constraints of office protocol. He has also led various national teams to regional, continental and world championships during his time in the BAA office, where he was also a board member.
I can sum up Pace as an amazing gentleman. Ke berekile le Raputi o bereketse le hatshele e tera ngwe ke bua ke re go na le batho ba ba tuelo tsa bone di ta tswang go le godimo jaaka Paceman o na bereka ka botswapelo
se ke se tsenka ena gore ga di ga go nna shwalo wa di mala ga ke di order o tla di order gore tshwanetse re dirana go tshwana
re na rata gore ga re na le ene ana ba re kgatha kore ne re interacta na setsa na kgona go dira tlhaloganyo ya go e ka re ke atlete gape e ka re ke monkana a rona mme gape re itse gore ke re ra rona ke mogolo ga ngwe ne kgona re di-race di elana ba re phutha re bana we ya be tšhaile go tšhaya a reng ko lewateng re go gasanang ka metsi bana ao
la ka ba tswa a go campaignetse wa tlhotswa ha pele wa se kwa tsamaya sentle nya ga tshabe gore a boya gape a go di campaign yo ke ileng ka bereka le ene ko sesoleng ka kgona go bereka le ene mo mabelong.
Raputsi was among the founding members of Pigwe Marathon as well as the Madinare Christmas Marathon. Paceman will be buried this Thursday at his home village, Madinare. Segwalame, Baeng, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
Botswana Swimming Sports Association will host National Swimming Championships at the University of Botswana tomorrow until Sunday. The principal event in the BSSA calendar is expected to attract 10 local clubs as the event will be used as a yardstick to select the national team. According to Botswana Swimming Sports Association President Kgaotsang Matthews, clubs has been preparing the athletes for the 18th championship, adding that swimmers and coaches always look forward to the nationals. Swimmers will be competing in the sprint and long distance events. The nationals, which are also Olympic qualifying events, are open to all swimmers registered with BSSA and members of the clubs affiliated to the BSSA. TMS's greatest swimming club are the defending champions of the National Swimming Championships.
Basically, everything is going well. The UB pool, they have managed for the maintenance before the event, and the pool is looking fantastic. The surroundings, everything is looking really very good. I think really we're looking forward to the next 4 days.
And now, lastly, Security Systems moved to 4th position on the Premier Log standings after defeating Matebele FC 1-0 in a game played this afternoon at the National Stadium. The Lam Boys found the back of the net courtesy of their 17-year-old winner Raymond Wetsu Uteng following a pinpoint cross from Bokan Ratipana. Kukansu created numerous scoring opportunities but lacked the killer instinct in front of goals. The games ended in a 1-0 victory for Security Systems.
We tried to have gradual build-ups from the back, which we did very well. We combined the through midfield, going wide and putting a lot of crosses inside the box. But today we were badly let down by poor finishing in front of goal. What is encouraging from this fixture is that we are creating chances. We created a lot of chances. What we need to do is just to convert our chances. We will try and help the young players to be composed in front of goals, to also to take responsibilities. If you look, there are players who were one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but instead of finishing, they want to dribble, they want to pass the responsibility. We really need to work on that. Then if we can start taking responsibility, taking shots at goals, we'll score goals.
I think during the week, our main concern was to try and psych the boys to believe more because we had 3 games in a row lose. So we had to dig it deep, and it didn't matter how the result. All what we wanted to do is to just take it over the line. We wanted 3 points more than anything to try and boost the players to come back and be themselves. And I hope that this victory, it will ignite them to come back and start believing on themselves that they can do more.
From Botswana Tonight Sports Desk, that was all we had for you tonight until we meet again tomorrow. Now back to Khomeso to remind us of the back heads.
Thank you so much, Ntaborang. Until we meet again tomorrow, have yourself a fantastic evening.
Thank you very much, my lady. Do have yourself a great night.
That was Ntaborang Sebatlana giving us the latest in sports. Let's take a final look at stories leading the way this evening. African countries encouraged to invest in women empowerment initiatives. Boitumelo Kgofamodimo is the new specially elected member of parliament. Botswana Athletics in remembrance of the late Moses Raputsi. That's all that we had for you in our news bulletin this evening. BTV News, Ikanyarona, #BW Mindset Change.
The road to destiny is not paved with brick and tar, but with vision and determination that unveil over time who we truly are when we get there. The Ministry of Transport and Public Works has embarked on a journey of transformation to enhance the efficiency of transport system in the Greater Gaborone area. This journey of the Greater Gaborone Urban Transport Improvement Project is funded by the Government of Botswana, assisted by the World Bank and OPEC Fund for International Development. The ideas adopted through this transport improvement project will, for the next 25 years, transform Greater Gaborone to a mobile, compact city based on concepts of urban transport development in relation to land settlement and use. Wasting no time and without a moment to spare, the government of Botswana, through the Ministry of Transport and Public Works, initiated the construction of 3